May 2025, Jerome, Florida. An 89-year-old man goes out for a walk with his dog near his home, just like he did every day. Hours later, he simply disappears. Police find signs of a brutal struggle, the dog dead, the front door forced open, and something terrifying, evidence that the attacker had entered the victim's home. But here's what's going to shock you. The one responsible for this tragedy wasn't an alligator. It wasn't one of those famous Burmese pythons terrorizing the Everglades. It was a predator that most people never imagined could even be there. And this case marks a sinister milestone, the first death by attack from this animal in Florida's history. Everyone thinks of alligators first when we talk about deadly predators in Florida, right? And it makes sense. They've killed 30 people in the state since 1948. But it wasn't an alligator. Burmese pythons? These giant snakes that can grow over 16 feet long and weigh more than 130 pounds. Although fatal incidents have occurred in other locations and in captive settings, they have never killed a human in Florida. Never. So what was it? What managed to do something that even the feared pythons couldn't? The answer is going to surprise you completely. But before I reveal our mysterious predator, I need to tell you about one of Florida's biggest ecological disasters and its possible connection to our mystery animal, the invasion of Burmese pythons. These Asian snakes arrived in Florida in two main ways. First, through people who bought them as exotic pets, but then discovered they couldn't handle caring for such a large snake and released them into the wild. But the real population boom came with Hurricane Andrew in 1992. Winds of 150 miles per hour destroyed a python breeding facility, releasing hundreds of these giants into nature. Today, experts estimate there are thousands upon thousands of pythons in the Everglades. They're devouring 90% of the native mammal population. Rabbits, raccoons, opossums, nearly extinct in certain areas. So here's the million-dollar question. Could our mysterious predator be the solution to the python problem? Does it have the strength and skill to take on these giant serpents? I'm going to answer that question. And I'm also going to show you whether this animal represents a real danger to people or if the May incident was just an isolated tragedy. But first, if you're curious to discover which predator managed to make history in Florida, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss any content about the world's most fascinating predators. The predator that killed Robert Markel in May 2025, marking the first death by attack from this animal in Florida's history, was a black bear. You might be thinking, bears in Florida? Seriously? But the truth is that Florida is home to an estimated population of 4,050 black bears. They're spread from the Panhandle down to the Everglades, and they've been spotted swimming off the beaches of the Gulf of Mexico. The bear that attacked Robert Markel weighed 263 pounds, an adult male. DNA confirmed that it not only killed the man and his dog, but also entered the victim's home. Florida's black bears are smaller than their northern cousins. Females average about 180 pounds, while males reach around 250 pounds, though some specimens can get much larger. Before European colonization, there were about 11,000 bears throughout Florida. In the 1970s, the population plummeted to just 300 animals, nearly extinct. Today, after decades of conservation efforts, they've reoccupied 49% of their original historic territory. But here's the most impressive fact. Since systematic record-keeping began in the 1970s, only 4 bear attacks have resulted in injuries serious enough to require medical attention. And only one was fatal, precisely the one from May 2025. This means that statistically, black bears are deadlier than Burmese pythons, which have never killed anyone in Florida, but much less dangerous than alligators, the latter being much more numerous, and therefore also having more potential for encounters and attacks. So why are attacks so rare if there are more than 4,000 bears in the state? The answer is behavior. Black bears are naturally shy and avoid human contact. The vast majority of conflicts happen for three main reasons: people feeding bears, improperly stored garbage, and especially dogs. Most attacks involve loose dogs that bark at or chase bears. The bear's natural instinct is to defend itself, especially if it's a female with cubs. And when the owner tries to save the dog, that's when tragedy strikes. Urban growth doesn't help either. Today, 1.3 million homes are located in bear territory in Florida. Bear-related calls have increased 700% in the last decade. Now, the question everyone wants to know: could bears be the natural solution to the python problem? From a physical standpoint, absolutely. A 220-pound bear has more than enough strength to kill a python weighing over 130 pounds. And there's documented proof. In 2021, researchers recorded a non-fatal attack by a Florida black bear against an adult Burmese python. But the reality is more complex. Black bears aren't specialists at hunting snakes. They prefer a more, let's say, peaceful diet. Fruits, grasses, insects, honey, things that don't fight back. Pythons are aggressive and dangerous predators. A smart bear avoids this kind of unnecessary confrontation, so while technically capable, bears rarely choose to take on pythons. It's like having an MMA fighter who could win a street fight, but prefers to stay home watching Netflix. Possible? Yes. Likely? Not really. But what if you encounter a bear in Florida? What should you do? First, stay calm. Don't run. Bears run faster than humans, reaching up to 30 miles per hour. Don't try to climb a tree. They climb better than you do. If the bear hasn't seen you, back away slowly and quietly. If it has spotted you, raise your arms. Make yourself big. Make noise. The idea is to appear intimidating, not like prey. If you have a dog, keep it leashed at all times. Loose dogs are the #1 cause of bear attacks. And if the worst happens and the bear attacks, don't play dead. Fight back. Aim for the snout. It's the most sensitive part. Use bear spray if you have it. But remember, the chance is tiny. In decades of records, only one attack has been fatal in Florida. So there's the truth about Florida's deadliest predator in 2025. Black bears earned this dark title not because they're killing machines, but simply because they managed to do what even the feared pythons haven't done in Florida's wilderness: take a human life. It's a reminder that the most dangerous predators aren't always the ones we expect. Sometimes the greatest risk comes from those living in the shadows, avoiding conflicts, until the day they can't avoid them anymore. They should never be underestimated. If you enjoyed this content, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And don't forget to watch the video I left as a gift for you right here. I'm sure it will surprise you just as much as this one did. Until next time, and remember, in nature, the most dangerous predator isn't always the most obvious one.